Hi, how's it going? My name is Asia. Don't know why I'm moving, but I am. So, hey, here we are. So, today we will be talking about depression because I dealt with that for a third, approximately. Maybe not a third, but the last few years. So, that's what we will be talking about today. The best way that I have found to describe depression is like a windshield, like a windshield in a vehicle. So say, you get a brand new car, or you take your car to a car wash, or you wash your car, and it's sparkly, it's clean, it's beautiful. And you drive around one day after the next, after the next, after the next, and you're looking through the windshield and you can still see, and it's fine, and it's whatever. And then say a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month go by, and you kind of look at it and you're like, it's getting a little dirty, but I can still see, and I don't feel like taking it for a car wash, or I don't feel like washing it. And so you just keep going, and then you're going, you're going, you're going. And then one day, I don't know, a bug hits your windshield, and then you have bug juices all on your windshield, and you squeeze the thing, the lever thing. I work at a whole automotive company. Can't remember what it's called, but the wipers, the windshield wipers, you spray the fluid and the wipers go off and they clean your windshield, and you can see the difference between the clean windshield and the dirt all around the edges. That's what it's like. It's like every day it got so much dirtier and things got so much darker, but you don't really realize it until you clean it and everything is like it's brand new again. And then you're like, wow, that was really dirty, or wow, I was really not okay. My first experiences were in like sophomore year maybe, but definitely junior and senior year of high school. At that time, I was really angry and upset, but I wasn't angry or upset with anyone in particular. I just was not happy. Like my natural state, like you have highs and you have lows, but my natural state was just like not happy. And my family would ask me like, hey, you don't seem to be yourself. Are you okay? And I would tell them, no, I'm not. I'm not okay. And they would ask, what's going on? How can I help? And my answer was, I don't know, because I didn't know. I didn't have an answer for what was happening. I didn't know why I was always upset. I didn't want to always be upset, but I was always upset. And so that was it. There was no like happy resolution. I just was always upset at that time. Then I went to college, and my freshman or my first 2 years, I was depression-wise pretty much fine. But my junior year, oh my goodness, so bad. So for those of you who don't know me, I am borderline type A personality-wise, like very much a perfectionist in the things that I do, and I like the things that I do to be organized and efficient and look nice and all that stuff. With that being said, like I also was and still am the type of person that wakes up at 6 a.m. just naturally. And I always have morning classes because I enjoy my morning classes, and I would be a part of my organization, and I would do all these other things and be social, as much of a social person as I reasonably could be for a person who's not very social. Junior year, that just kind of like did not happen. I would wake up and it would take me almost an hour to get out of bed, which I'm normally the type of person who could just like wake up and roll out of bed and be fine. But it took me almost 30 minutes to an hour every single day to get out the bed. And I would drag myself to my first class where I was always exhausted. I would drag myself to the second class where I was always exhausted. I would go to lunch and I wasn't really hungry. I'm not like a good eater anyway, but I wasn't hungry. So I would just go to sleep during lunch and then I would wake back up and I would go to classes. And after that, like if I didn't have anything specifically to do right after my last class, I would go home. And half the time, like I would go to bed, but I wasn't tired. I wasn't tired like, oh, I'm so exhausted, I have to go to sleep. I was just tired of being awake. And so I would just go to bed, but I would just lay there and watch TV sometimes or just, do something. But I just had to be in the bed. And I would sleep until I had to get up and I had to do something. So during that time, I had a position in my student org. And so I had meetings for that. So if I had those, I would go to those. If I had previous engagements with my friends or different things for work, I would be there. But if I didn't have anything explicit, I was at home. Overall, I was just so tired. So tired and just like sad the entire time. And here's the thing, I wasn't doing anything. There was nothing for me to be tired from. I wasn't doing anything at all. I was just exhausted 100% of the time. And there wasn't a pinpoint, oh, something happened that made me really sad. I was just sad all the time. And it was also hard for me to like focus in my classes. So I would go to classes. I would be at every single class. But I would end up playing like The Sims, which is awful. I would play The Sims during class. I would shop online. I'm not a shopper, but I'd be shopping online. I would pretty much do anything that it took to not fall asleep in class because I was just always so exhausted. My memory during that time, if I didn't write something down, it wasn't going to happen. So I could talk to someone the day before, say, yeah, we're gonna meet for lunch tomorrow. If it wasn't in my calendar, I wasn't showing up because I just didn't remember. It was awful, which I wouldn't say like I have a great memory, but I have a decent memory. But during that time, not at all. Absolutely awful. Third year was really bad. Like it was really, really bad. My fourth year, it got a little bit better. Not significantly, but it did get better. My memory came back a little bit, and I wasn't always so exhausted, but it was like sinusoidal. There were ebbs and flows, it was highs and lows, and there were days where I just couldn't. And normally I'm a pretty good person of like, oh, I don't really feel like doing this. I should do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. But there were days where I couldn't. Like I couldn't put on the face of saying, this is something that I'm required to do. Let's do it. So there were plenty of meetings that I was supposed to go to or things I was supposed to attend, and I just said, I can't do this today. You cancel the meeting because I'm not going to be there. Which I'd like to say that I could have gotten up and gone there. I couldn't have. It wasn't going to happen. And I think it was around junior, senior year, third, fourth year, sophomore year, I don't know, when the topics of mental health became like a really big thing and people started talking about anxiety and they started talking about depression. And it was at this time where I like realized, oh, the whole like not being able to focus in my classes when I'm stereotypically a pretty decent student, or always being tired for no reason. And it was just really annoying. I was really sick of it. I started going to therapy for a different reason, but through those conversations and meetings and whatever you call them, sessions, my therapist brought up the idea of potentially taking medication for it. And I was like, nope, not gonna do that because no. I didn't want to become dependent on it. Like that was the only thing that was gonna get me out of bed. And so a few months went by and things got worse, and it got to a point where it's like I can't not get out of bed every day because I have things to do, but I can't do these things because I am exhausted for no reason. Like I would wake up tired for no reason. It was annoying. It was quite very annoying. we revisited the discussion of potentially taking medications, and I went to a psychiatrist to actually prescribe them. And I started off with one, which was not that, it wasn't good. And then I switched to another one. And when I tell you, I think it was maybe a week or two, maybe 3 after I started taking the medication for depression, where I woke up and my mind was just blank. And not just like, not blank in a bad way, but there was just no underlying sadness. There was no underlying doom and gloom, or, oh, today's gonna be a bad day, or, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen today because nothing's gonna go my way. I won't be able to do anything. It was just clear. And I'm not a crier, but when I tell you, I could have sobbed. Oh my gosh. Because I didn't realize how sad and how dark my thoughts consistently were until I started taking that medication. I was like, wow, people, you could just like live life without just, without your windshield being disgustingly dirty. Which, like, not disgustingly dirty, but just like extremely dirty. But you don't really realize it in the time. So it's not, at least I don't. But yeah, when I tell you that was like the best decision that I've made, well, one of the best decisions I've made this far, because I have finally gotten to a place where I can think clearly and think in a way where there's not a pending doom and gloom. Like, everything doesn't seem like it's just gonna be so sad. Like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Like, every time someone says something to him, he thinks everything's gonna be awful, which is kind of how it felt. Like, oh yeah, I mean, hey, we could plan for the future, but hey, it's probably gonna suck anyway. But I finally got into a point where it's like, oh no, there can be hope, there can be good things, and da 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 da. But to conclude, I have 2 things. One for a person who is potentially, or think that they might be going through it. And I don't recommend self-diagnosing. Tried that, doesn't always work. I would go to a medical professional, have them, talk you through some things, because they get paid to do that. 2, for someone who knows someone who is. So for the person who is, it does get better. Trust me when I say that. I know it does not. There are some days where it does not feel like anything could get any better. Like, this is just it. Like, your life will forever just be doom and gloom. It doesn't have to be, and it won't always be. It won't always be doom and gloom. You can get through this if you can just take it one day at a time. And if one day is hard, because one day can be very hard, take it 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour at a time. And if 1 hour is hard, because 1 hour can be very hard, a minute, and if the minute's hard, seconds. Just, all right, there goes, I don't know, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And just take it second by second until you can get to the minutes and the days and the hours, and then the weeks and the months and the years. It'll get better. I empathize with you. I've been there. I give you a virtual hug, because that's not a fun place to be. 2, for the people who know people or who are around people that they think might be dealing with depression, or might just be sad in general, or anything of the sort. Be patient with them. This isn't something that they have chosen. No one really wakes up one day and says, I want to be depressed. It just happens. And they might not even know it, because there were plenty of times where I thought, oh no, I'm good, I'm fine, everything's good. And then I would go a couple weeks and I'd be like, no, I was really bad. I was really not okay. So patience with them. Different things work for different people. For some people, it's helpful to just sit there with them, listen if they want to talk. If they don't want to talk, I wouldn't pressure them to talk, because that, for me, it only made it worse. And just let them know that you're there for them. They may not reach out at that time or any time, but at least knowing that someone's in your corner, I found was really helpful. Yeah, give them grace. It's hard. It's really hard. I don't have anything else to say. Thanks for watching the video. I have other videos, you can watch those too. There's gonna be a blog series going on. I don't know what the other videos that will come will be, so stay tuned for that. We'll figure it out together. And if you have questions, my Instagram is somewhere below. I don't know. And feel free to comment if you want to say something there, or DM me if you want to say something that's not public. And I will respond if it's appropriate. And I think my camera's about to die, so have a blessed week. I love you. Be blessed. Hug somebody. Do something nice for someone.